What's going on? We back, Goodfellas Sports TV, one more time for the one time tonight, man. May not be the last video. I'm gonna try to cover some of this Duke and Kentucky game with Zion Williamson making his debut on the college hardwood. But in another edition of Shut Up and Dribble, this Saturday, if you missed episode 1, it was real good. It's on Showtime. Maybe you can stream it somewhere. LeBron James is supposed to expose. Well, the show is, created or directed or created by LeBron James. He pushing it some type of way. It's supposed to expose Michael Jordan as being a buck dancing, that's not tackling social injustice from back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Shut Up and Dribble, the first episode, showed how Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Oscar Robertson kind of paved the way, and Bill Russell paved the way for players to have rights and get good contracts, and was groundbreaking for players and black players in America as well. In this episode, the second one, it's entitled "Shut Up and Dribble." Still under the weather. They talk about how the other side of the pendulum, how Michael Jordan just shut up and dribble. Okay, and it goes back to when he declined to get involved in the 1990 Senate race between, ultra-conservative Republican Jesse Helms and black challenger Harvey Gantt, saying that Republicans buy Jordans too, and also, also goes into some other things that his former teammate Craig Hodges said as well too, is saying that after the Rodney King beating, they tried to perform a boycott in the 1991 finals, where the Bulls was taking on the Lakers. It was Chicago Bulls' first finals appearance and first championship on its way to 6 with Michael Jordan. And they wanted to boycott the finals to show injustice for the beating of Rodney King. And Michael Jordan and Magic Johnson said that was too extreme. Okay? And for years Jordan ain't shut up and tackle social injustice, man. For years he didn't say nothing. For years he sat there and didn't do nothing. I also want to say he does not invest into prisons. That's another Michael Jordan billionaire or multi-millionaire from Oregon. So I will put a good word in there for that. And what's so funny about it, his fellow Tar Heel alum who's recently getting divorced, that's on TNT, Kenny the Jet Smith, kind of defended him as well. He said that it's in the episode, you'll see it. It's not his obligation to be Muhammad Ali, fellow Tar Heel and NBA analyst Kenny Jet Smith saying during the episode. And at the end of the day, that's how some people feel. Some people feel, some black people feel, it's a black subject. Some black people feel that, it ain't up to certain guys to take on the the social injustice role and be the voice of black people and our minority people, like Muhammad Ali did, Basically, it's not fair to put that on him. And at the end of the day, when black people are putting so much money in your pocket, when they going out and buying your sneakers and buying your gear, I guess it still ain't your obligation to speak up for the culture and for the people at hand. You know what I'm saying? I remember hearing, a story about a millionaire wanted to take a picture with Jordan and wanted Jordan to sign his shoes or something. He said, "I ain't taking a picture with you N-words." Also, think I heard Redman or Method Man say Michael Jordan hated hip hop. So at the end of the day, his shoes and his gear is tailor made or pushed towards the urban community, and he doesn't even like some of the stuff going on in the hip hop urban community. He's never beat Muhammad Ali. He never did what LeBron James did. A lot of people don't remember how serious the Rodney King beating was, how it incited riots, how it impacted the hip-hop culture, how it impacted and made and helped create some of the greatest rap albums of all time. America's Most Wanted by Ice Cube, all around that time. The Chronic was the healing of L.A. after they burned down and rioted throughout the city, And this guy didn't step up and say nothing. Nothing. And LeBron James is going to stick it to him. He said, you might be considered this or be cemented as the GOAT in most people's minds. You might be cemented to have the greatest sneakers of all time. But you know what? I'm going to show people that you was a coward. That you wasn't the man of the people. You know what I'm saying? You didn't step up. You didn't say anything for your people. And that's what I'm going to do. You know, and I respect LeBron James for putting that in the documentary. He easily could have skipped over that and showed all the other black trailblazers that stood up for players' rights, that stood up for free agency like Oscar Roberts did, who stood up and became one of the first black coaches in the NBA like Bill Russell did, who stood up for players' rights, who had the balls and the mental fortitude to stand in the storm and take the licks on the chin so that players today can be compensated well. So players today can have an open floor and had a pedestal to talk about social injustice like LeBron James. And I'm glad he put this shit out here because Michael Jordan get this reputation for being the goody two-shoes when he been a culture vulture for years. He has. He's poached off the hip-hop culture, and all of a sudden he never gave nothing back to it. Now he just not starting to do stuff for the hip-hop culture. He just not starting to give money away and donate money and stuff of that nature. He ain't never stood up for black people. He ain't never said nothing. The Rodney King beating was as bad as it can get. You know, now all of a sudden in his old age, he want to step up and say something. When a guy like LeBron James is being a modern day Muhammad Ali, when his generation, all him and Charles Barkley was some buck dancers. All him and Magic Johnson was some buck dancers. You know what I'm saying? That's an actual fact. You know, got us putting the medal around his neck. He ain't said nothing about nothing was going on about these black killings going around America. You know, little old LeBron James, a guy that just was told to shut up and dribble. A guy that took backlash on social media for stepping up for the culture, for stepping up for black people, for being the voice of the people, for being the voice of social injustice, for being a modern day Muhammad Ali, doing 1 trillion times more things than Michael Jordan ever did. Or little old LeBron James done more than all of them. Jordan, Barkley, you know, the guy putting the medal, Obama. He's done more for the black community and the black culture for all of them has done. And I appreciate him taking it and taking the humble pie and smashing in Jordan's face, smashing in Magic's face. They was cowards. All they cared about was their pockets. And Kenny J. Smith to come in here in this episode and say that wasn't, you know, his obligation, you're right. It ain't LeBron James' obligation. It wasn't Oscar Roberts' obligation to make sure free agency was part of the ABA-NBA merger. You know? It wasn't his obligation. It wasn't Kareem's obligation to do what he did for the league. It wasn't Magic and Bird's obligation, you know, to do what he did for the league. But at the end of the day, you do what you got to do. And they were some cowards back then, man. That was some real cowards. That was some real serious business with that Rodney King beating, especially when they got off, you know. And I appreciate LeBron James doing this shut up and dribble. Jordan would have never done nothing like this back in the day. You know what I'm saying? You know, everybody think he a goody two-shoes. Man, he's a shit person, man. And that's square business. And now he trying to right on his wrong. No, I ain't gonna never forget that. I ain't gonna never forget that. All that hiding under the tables he did when it got the going got tough. They trying to do a boycott him and Magic Johnson. No, Magic Johnson too. You know, grinning, smiling dudes that's gonna tap dance for the man. You know what I'm saying? And it's unfortunate though. It's unfortunate. And I'm glad LeBron is highlighting that. And I'm most definitely going to review the episode. You know, it comes on this Saturday. The last episode came on last Saturday. I taped it and I watched it. It was an excellent episode. You know, where it's good, it's bad. Usually where it's bad, it's ugly. And Michael Jordan was the ugly. The face of the NBA never stepped up for his people as much as all the stuff that went down in the 90s. All the things he could have spoke up and said, and Republicans buy Nikes too. That just shows you what type of person he is. Grew up in the South with that mentality. That make it even worse. You grew up in the South with that mentality. Knowing everything people been through in the South. You know, and that's his mentality, man. Arrogant, ignorant. And a lot of people just think, you know, he was the greatest on the floor, but he was a very, very selfish person off the floor. Didn't care about his people. You know what I'm saying? Didn't care about nothing that was going on. To say something that Republicans buy Jim Jordans too. That just let you know how you feel. You know? And like I said, Shut Up and Dribble Showtime, man. Make sure y'all check it out, man. And what else legitimate can you say about this situation, man? A lot of people, you know, gonna get mad at Michael, mad at LeBron for this, man. You know, a lot of former players probably will get mad. A lot of people gonna respect it. You know, you might have other people that's on LeBron's head for what he doing in LA, going out to party, after losing the game versus Toronto the other night. But one thing you can't take away from this man stood up, out of high school with no college diploma. He's done more than anybody, any other celebrity for the black people. He's done more for anybody. He's the modern day Muhammad Ali, starting schools. You know what I'm saying? Giving money back. All types of stuff this man do. He sold up his community. You know what I'm saying? Came back to Cleveland after his owner had a slave master mentality. Stepped up and talked. Challenged the president. You know what I'm saying? All the things he do in the community, man. Michael Jordan didn't do half a percentage of that. 0.5% of that, he didn't do that. You talking about the greatest off the court, off the field, off the sports. It's Muhammad Ali and his guys that came before him, but LeBron James is this generation's Muhammad Ali. Easily. Michael Jordan can never amount to being that type of GOAT status. He can do whatever he want to do right now. He'll never get to that status. That's something that you can't take away from LeBron James. That's something that can't be measured like rebounds, steals, points, blocks. Can't take that away from him. And I love the fact that LeBron James is taking it and sticking it in Jordan's face. And reportedly, Jordan is angry about it, about the episode. Well, you should have did more. You should go back in the future with all your money, go back in the past and tell yourself to step up and say something. Because that's one of the most ignorant comments you can make. Republicans buy Nikes too. You know what I'm saying? You might as well say no comment. Can't step up with your people. People forget where they come from. Like I say, man, it's ignorant, and I'm happy LeBron James is spotlighting it because where it's good, it's bad. Where it's smoke, it's fire. And in the 90s, after everybody else did, Oscar Robertson, Bill Russell, Oscar Robertson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar paved the way for all the brothers to get paid in the NBA and make a good living. He dropped the ball number of times. It's going to get deep. It's going to take you insight of how much of a buck dancer he really was, man. All right? It's Goodfellas Sports TV. Salute to everybody out there. Don't forget we on Facebook, Twitter. Also, you can email me. Appreciate it. Video requests. You got some sources, some links. You got a question or whatever, business inquiry, sponsorship, whatever you want to do. We on Facebook, Twitter. You can also email me, DM me, add me at Twitter. Make sure you like the pages. We got a Facebook group as well. We talk a little bit of stuff in. Also, if you want to make a donation, that link's in the description as well. Salute to everybody out there holding us down. We'll continue to drop this hot content on you guys. Make sure you watch Shut Up and Dribble episode 2 on Showtime. And they probably doing replays of episode 1 on Showtime as well. I got it taped, so make sure you check it out. It's LeBron James series. Y'all know what the business is. One time for the one time.